Coyotes making it tied through 40 minutes, but a third period collapse has this game end in a completely different way than probably what a lot of us were hoping. The Arizona Coyotes take another loss to the Dallas Stars. We'll talk about this game, Robyn, Leano, and Carl Pavlock, on this episode of Locked On Coyotes.
You're Locked On Coyotes, your daily podcast on the Arizona Coyotes, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Okay, welcome everyone to this post-game live episode of Locked On Coyotes. I'm Robyn Leano. Carl Pavlock is right beside me as we break down this Arizona Coyotes game. A 4-1 loss to Dallas Stars. That's the final score. Carl, third period, or let's just say late game, because even like not until like the final 5 minutes, let's even say. A late game collapse here for the Arizona Coyotes.
Yeah, it really was. I was disappointed, especially since I said the Coyotes were going to lose 3-1, and for a while it looked like we were going to be there. But no, JB Ben had to get his second goal of the night, screwing up my prediction. But yeah, it was very tough to watch the Coyotes collapse in the third period after having such a good second period when that is so often reversed. And I know I went into that third period, I'm like, okay, they're doing good through 40. They never do good through 40. So maybe they could do something. And no.
And let's be real here. Like you saw the Bally Sports Arizona when they put out that they put out a little graphic up talking about the Coyotes in second periods, right? And they said there's only two other times that the Arizona Coyotes outscored their opponent in the second period. Like that was against the Seattle Kraken, which the game in which they won, and against the Winnipeg Jets, a game in which they won.
Yeah. It's one of those like weird facts that you see. If the Coyotes can outscore their opponents in the second period, which they so very rarely can, they're probably going to win that game, but not anymore. Not after that. And I feel like the last game, the game against the Golden Knights, we talked about that as kind of like a step back. I felt like the way the team took penalties that was just another step back. Like we've seen this so many times, they keep taking penalties until finally their opponents score on the power play. Like I cannot even count how many times that's happened, and that happened tonight with what was a 2-1 game suddenly became 3-1 late, and you're not going to get anything back from that.
Yeah, and and the thing is too, like a lot of these players looked super hungry to freaking have phenomenal games for the Arizona Coyotes.
Yeah.
Shane got the spear. Let's go ahead and put out some credit to him. He got the only goal the Coyotes got, but it looked like he
Another
wanted more.
prediction I had.
He wanted more. Yeah, you did have that prediction. You did have the prediction. He was going to get a gogoal.
Yeah.
So good on you. So like, if you should have bet on that.
I really should have bet on that game. That's what I'm saying. Because this is one of the few times I've been spot on or close to it. But yeah, he looked good. He looked hungry. I thought Louis Eriksson was looking pretty good. Like he hit the post before he took that final penalty. I thought he wanted to have like a big game for his 1,000th career game, which might as well just throw that out there. Clayton Keller looked good on that pass to Gostisbehere, so some good stuff there. But I don't know. I don't know like what has been the Coyotes' issue with getting the second goal lately.
I think Eriksson looked like he wanted it too, because not only was it his 1,000th game, it was his 1,000th game, and he was playing the team that he was drafted by.
Yeah. If you ever wanted to have some big homecoming energy, like that's it. I'm sure he wanted to have a great game. And I wouldn't necessarily say they did. I would say like the entire team, like was looking good in the first 40 and then just kind of collapsed in the third period.
Even Jacob Chikrin, he was kind of had a struggling beginning to the season. Like even him, like I'm like, whoa, where'd this guy come from?
Yeah. He Chikrin I thought looked really good. I'm trying to like I think that Labushkin has really come into his own as his partner because
Absolutely.
I'm enjoying watching this evolution of Ilya Labushkin. And that it tends to be kind of the more interesting part of that pairing because I am not expecting him to do anything that he's been doing.
Yeah, no, and that's the fun part about it. Just seeing stuff like that, seeing the team grow in ways you didn't expect, right?
Yeah. Which I think is kind of like how we went into the season. Like, there's like, okay, we're looking for growth. We have no idea where it's going to come from or who's going to be delivering it. And there's definitely been a few like pleasant surprises.
There definitely has been. Let's take a look more into some of this game too, and Carl, let's be thankful that at least somewhat that the this game that it was 4-1 and not 5-1, that they actually decided to take a look at that first 2-1 goal. I mean, let's be real.
Oh
It
yeah,
was obvious. It was freaking obvious. And if you guys
yeah.
don't know what I'm talking about, it was a distinct kicking motion to get that goal in.
Probably the clearest, distinct kicking motion we will ever see because it was Peterson and he was on the ice. So like you got to see him kick from like over top, like the perfect angle to be like, yep, no, that's a kick. It's a
Yeah, not
perfect kick.
and not only that too, but like, did you realize that he didn't even really celebrate? He's kind of like,
Yeah.
hmm,
You
I'm guilty.
always have to celebrate. I was listening to a sports podcast and they were talking about a famous South American player who like hit the ball in with his hand. It's just like, yep, no, you celebrate that every single time because if you don't, it looks suspicious right away.
He's like, oh,
Like,
you're guilty of something.
yeah, yeah, because you know what you did. Otherwise, you'd be really happy. Like, if you thought it was just a mistake, then you're still gonna celebrate it. Like, always celebrate your goals. Like, don't give them any excuse to question it. But Pearson did get one back like a couple minutes later, so I guess he's fine with having like a legit goal.
Yeah, but I mean, could have been worse. That could have like imagine if that game, if like there was not enough, like no review for it for some reason, and just like
Yeah.
imagine the
Uh
controversy. Imagine the controversy if they didn't review that.
I don't even know like it's crazy to think like when I started watching hockey, there's absolutely no way they would have been able to review that or because was there a challenge for that officially or did they just like automatically review it?
Um, I'm trying to remember exactly. I think it might have been a challenge because
Because
notice
then
that Tournay was pretty pissed from the start. He saw
yeah,
he,
like
he looked on his iPad and he looked up. He's like no, no, no.
yeah, like that was pretty immediate. So like I don't know if they were like if he did like the actual formal challenge or if they were just like, all right, we'll take a look at this, get mine or get Toronto on there. That was definitely the fastest review of a goal I've ever seen in my life. Like
Yeah, it took like what 5 seconds.
yeah, I think they watched it once and they're like, nope,
Yep.
no goal.
you're like you're like that's a kick. Now goal.
Yeah. And like I said, like the fact that he was on the ice made it so clear because normally, like distinct kicking motion, you're always like, is that a redirect or what is that happening? But when you're like flat on your side, like kicking, that's plain to see that you're kicking.
Yeah, and that's. I think that's the most obvious part about all that, and good that it was reviewed.
Yeah,
And it went so like, and let's put it another way, a good thing because we both recommended that this game go under.
yeah,
If that one counted, we wouldn't have cashed out to those that listened to us.
Yeah. Again, this was a good night for predictions that we had. Bad night for the Coyotes. It's fun how that can happen sometimes.
See, this is why we're having fun with betting because there's a chance that we win and you guys win because you listen to us, and even though the Coyotes might lose, it's just like at least have some kind of fun out of it, right?
I mean, I think going into this season, we all expected the Coyotes to lose, like pretty much every game. And there's nothing kind of wrong with taking the small victories that you can get when something like at least goes according to plan. Like it's going to go badly, but it goes bad in the way you expect it to go bad. Uh, and that's all I'll say about that.
Okay, we still got more to get to on this episode of Locked On Coyotes. We're gonna finish up this post game show and this recap talking about this loss to the Dallas Stars, and then we'll start to take a little bit of a look ahead. What's coming up for the rest of this week for the Arizona Coyotes? A little spoiler: they got some time off, but we'll get to that in just a moment. But first, a quick word from Carl.
So I am a big eater of steak for the holidays. Every Christmas we have prime rib. It's delicious. We usually go with the Omaha steaks just because they provide a good quality cut of meat. And with the holidays coming up right around the corner, it's got me thinking about that a lot. And it's got me thinking about finding the perfect gift and how tricky it can be. And Omaha Steaks always makes it easy to send friends and family an unforgettable gift guaranteed to be loved. You can go to omahasteaks.com and enter NHL into the search bar to order the perfect gift package. For $99.99, you get 24 entrees like the world famous bacon wrapped filet mignon, chicken breasts, sides, desserts, and so much more. Use the promo code NHL and you'll get an additional 8 Omaha Steak burgers free with your order. So, we've all heard the reports about shortage and shipping delays, so don't wait. Order the perfect gift package today at omahasteaks.com and you'll get the free 8 free burgers when you enter the promo code NHL. Achieve gifting greatness with Omaha Steaks, the incredible flavor, incredible value, and 100% guaranteed. Again, that's omahasteaks.com, keyword NHL.
And guys, you listen to podcasts for the power of the inside track. You switch to Boost Mobile for the power of saving money. Because with Boost, you get the power of a free 5G phone so you can listen to the latest episodes and keep up with your favorite players and teams. The power of 3 unlimited data lines for $30 a month per line so your family can share all the insights. And the power of one of America's largest 5G networks so you can do it all at the speed of 5G. With all that money you'll save and all that edge you'll gain, just how powerful will you become? Switch to Boost Mobile and find out. Get a free Galaxy A32 5G when you switch to one of America's largest 5G networks. Save more power to save. Boost Mobile. The free phone is limited to new customers, one per line. Additional restrictions apply. Offers and coverage not available everywhere for all phones and networks. See boostmobile.com for details. All right, back here on Locked On Coyotes. Once again, I'm Robyn, Leano, Carl Pavlock right beside me as we finish up this recap before we take a look ahead for the Arizona Coyotes on the rest of this week. A couple things we should address. Carl, biggest thing is even though the Coyotes, I mean, for the most part, looked pretty decent for this game, they still couldn't get shots on net.
Yeah, that was a problem. Honestly, for like most of the first 2 periods, it was a low scoring affair or low shooting affair. It was like 14 shots to 15, and then Dallas just came out with 12. It was honestly kind of a boring game to watch. But yeah, the Coyotes failed to really generate any kind of offense, especially in that third period. They weren't getting shots on net. It was very unfortunate. Again, I think a big reason for that was they took 4 penalties, and you're not going to generate much offense. You're not going to take many shots when you're on the penalty kill.
I'm taking a look at some of the natural stat trick stats and all this. A 55-35 Corsi in favor of the Stars. 29-15 scoring chances in favor of the Stars. 15-3 high danger Corsi in favor of the Stars.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Like what?
Uh, Especially
So
those like high danger scoring. Like we saw that like Dallas was like crashing the net. They were getting stuff done. The Coyotes weren't. Like I think three of the Stars goals looked pretty close to being exactly the same. Just like someone like almost all alone, all in front of the net. Um, but
um,
either way, they had like tons of glorious chances, and the Coyotes couldn't get any.
okay, so I'm looking at the heat map, right?
Yeah.
All four of the Dallas Stars goals were in the slot or in the crease.
Can we just say like it's bad that they gave up that many chances in that area? Like, ah, like of course Dallas got four. Of course they did. If they're all like from there, just beautiful.
And that's where all the shots were, right there, like right there the inside slot, right up in the crease. Like that, all the shots were freaking right there. Like
Yeah.
and like salute to Wedgwood for doing what he could. Let's be real here.
Yeah, no, Wedgwood definitely gave the team a chance to win this one. Like not on him at all. Like,
No, Wedgwood had a good game.
yeah, it's just a shame that the team in front of him was A, giving up all these like glorious chances, and B, unable to get anything done on their own.
Hmm. And I mean, that's the story of this team, isn't it? Right? I mean, that's the story. That's kind of been the story of this team for like the longest time, that they kind of just give up chances like that.
Yeah, the goaltender throwing the Coyotes on his back has been a staple of this franchise for a long time. So, I mean, the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Yeah, I mean, but what we're doing, like what we're doing here on the podcast, and have been doing all season long, is talking about the future, because the future of this Coyotes is going to be brighter, right? Like, yes, things suck now, but they're gonna get better.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's. Uh, I'm trying to think of the best silver lining for this game, and it's either the team still has another year of Shane Goss to spare after this one, so if they don't trade
Hmm.
him, he's looked phenomenal. I hope he sticks around, and also I think we have just seen like a general like just improvement of Clayton Keller's play this year. And what? How long is his point streak now? Because he got another assist.
I'm trying to think how long that
All right.
was.
So doesn't have a point streak going. Well, does now. He has 3 points, 2 assists, and a goal in his last 2 games. But he's had a couple of big nights. And though he does seem to be going kind of like bunches, yeah, I think Clayton Keller this year has looked much like this is the best we've ever seen him.
This is the best we've ever seen him. I think because he knows that a lot of this, like that he is going to be one of the corner pieces of this future Coyotes team.
Yeah,
Like he is, like, as of right now, like among that corner piece for among the forwards. And because he knows that, he knows he needs to step up and be a leader to get ready for the future.
absolutely. And I think like we're also fans have just like underestimated the time it takes for him to physically develop
Hmm.
like as a player because he is still very young. Like he is what 23 this season. So it's fine that he's just now like entering his prime as a hockey player. Like we should be expecting him to improve each and every year. I think he's definitely embracing a leadership role. I really like Clayton Keller penalty killer, which I don't think we would ever see under Tocchet. That just doesn't sound right at all. But he is definitely like really upped his game, and I've been impressed.
Speaking of which, I want to give a little bit of credit to the penalty kill today too. I think they let one in,
They did.
but um, the Dallas Stars are among the better power play teams in the NHL,
Yes.
and to only let in one, and that one in towards the end of the game, like to only let in one, I mean, that's not bad.
It is. I do think the penalty kill, all things considered, played especially well, especially with that goal finally coming in like the dying seconds. It goes back to what I said earlier, though. Don't take four penalties. Like,
No,
don't
yeah,
give the Dallas Stars, one of the top five power plays in the league, four opportunities to get it right finally. Like, if they had like only taken three, like if that Erickson penalty didn't happen, this could have potentially been a very different game.
it could have been a very different game. Who knows? We could be potentially be talking. We probably wouldn't even. We could potentially not be alive by now. We could be watching like a shootout. Who knows?
Could be, yeah, because it did look like the Coyotes like had a chance to come back, but like that final penalty, like just kind of like
Just killed them.
yeah, that was kind of it. Like you can feel like the energy just kind of
It takes.
drain.
Remember, it takes. When we talked about these, we talked about in the pregame show about their previous game against Vegas and their second period collapse. It takes one event for it to for the team, the Arizona Coyotes to collapse, and that was that penalty that essentially became the that last goal. It's just like, oh, that's part of the collapse right there, and boom, this game's over.
Yep, it's very unfortunate that the Coyotes are a team that has like that little margin of error, but that's just where we're at with this franchise right now.
It is where we're at this franchise, but it's okay because this team is rebuilding, and we are aware of that. This team is going to be focusing on the future, but that's also long-term future. Let's talk near side future. What's coming up this week for the Arizona Coyotes? What do they got to do moving forward? We're going to talk about that in just a sec. But first, a quick word from Carl.
So BetOnline has you covered all season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before, and that's as football season continues the march to the playoffs. BetOnline remains your number one spot for all sports action this season. Head over to our new updated desktop or mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code LOCKEDON to receive your bonus. From basketball, football, NHL, boxing, and UFC, right down to your favorite Vegas casino games. So don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts.
All right, so back here on Lockdown Coyotes, once again, Robyn, Leano, and Kyle Pavlock. On this post-game show, Arizona Coyotes, once again, final score 4-1 against the Dallas Stars. They take another loss. They move to 5-18-2 on the season. But let's take a look ahead, Carl. The Coyotes have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 days off? They
Yeah.
don't play till Friday, which is quite some time. You got to figure out a way to fill those gaps.
Yeah, we will definitely need to find ways to generate content, but Coyotes have a couple days off. We'll hopefully do good for them. They're coming to a back-to-back, so why NHL schedulers? Why?
I mean, let's like I was listening to the Valley Sports broadcast, and they're like, yeah, this first half of the season sucks, but if you look like in February, March, like it like dies down for them. They got like nothing.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Like, you can't really screw a team all year. Like, you can only just kind of like make some hard moments, but yeah, it'll be interesting. Coyotes are going to be coming back, and they're going to be facing the Panthers and the Flyers, which the Flyers. That's going to be an interesting matchup with the coaching change.
Oh yeah. Not to mention also more Shane got the spear action.
Oh yeah, you get that nice connection. Um, I think I have heard some suggestion of Rick Tocchet going in for the Flyers head coaching job. Uh, I don't know if that would happen like right away, but that would be a very interesting matchup. The first time the Coyotes play the Flyers with their new coach Rick Tocchet.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much weight that has either.
Yeah,
Especially because I'm pretty sure Todd gets pretty happy with his contract over at TNT. He's making some money over there. He doesn't have to do much.
absolutely. Like I don't I cannot imagine he gets out of his contract to coach the Flyers by Friday, or not even Friday, by Saturday, because they're playing the Panthers on Friday. But it's the NHL, and I have seen crazier things happen.
I mean, let's put it this way: um, if you want to make that NFL comparison to those who've been following football, you had a broadcaster leave broadcasting to become the coach of the Raiders. And yes, I'm talking about Gruden, who's no longer coaching there anymore. But like, it's been done.
Yeah.
Some people have allowed. Don't think it's a mid-season thing. I don't think, but you never know, right?
I just find it funny that the Coyotes on a back-to-back are going to be facing the top team in the Atlantic Division, the Florida Panthers, and the second to worst team in the Metropolitan Division, the Philadelphia Flyers. Also, something I didn't realize, the New York Islanders are on a 11 game losing streak, which is Coyotes level bad.
Wow, 11-game losing streak.
The Flyers are
Um,
on a 9, so that kind of tells you what the bottom of the Metro's like.
wow. Yeah, see, the Coyotes only started the season that way. They haven't gone on any super long losing streak since the start of the season. So, we're good there.
Yeah. The problem is, like, when you do it at the start of the season, you get put in the history books.
Yeah, I mean, that's also an issue because mid-season, what's the longest? 18, 19, 20?
I don't know offhand. And that's something where I would be curious to know.
Yeah. We'll talk about we'll get to that in another episode of the
Yeah.
podcast, if we feel like we ever have to. Um,
It's the Arizona Coyotes. I'm sure it'll come up eventually.
something will happen, right?
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
will happen. But they got the Panthers and the Flyers. Good thing is they're both at home,
Yeah.
so that's nice. Trying to think.
And then they have another couple days off. They have 3 days off after that. With the next game being Wednesday. So, eh.
And
Like
that's when
you
they host the Rangers, and then back on the road again.
So you could go like all out in that second game, not have to worry about it. Like, which would be nice. Like, because I think like just looking at the two, the game against the Flyers definitely seems like the more winnable game.
It does. It definitely does. Um, Especially if the teams that have been they're among the teams that have been struggling greatly. I could just mention, and the good thing is that's not the only team that's been struggling lately. As of teams that are up on the Coyotes' schedule in the next couple weeks.
Oh yeah, who we got?
Vancouver Canucks will be on the 19th.
Is that's away? Ah,
Yeah, it's away.
I really want to see the OEL Connor Garland homecoming, but
And then that'll be later down the road.
yeah, but yeah, that's definitely potentially a chance to get some easy points. Although I will say those first games with the new coach, those are trap games. Those are always trap games.
But that's not it though. That then the 21st is a game against the Kraken.
Mm. So okay. I'm liking the Coyotes December a little bit, especially after the November.
Yeah, so December's a little. I mean, December's still got some tough ones in there. Obviously, the Rangers is going to be a tough game.
Yeah,
Um, the Ducks is like a toss up now for some odd reason. Then you got the Lightning, obviously, in there.
of
Um,
course.
you got the Sharks, who are surprisingly pretty decent. Um, then the Stars again on the sec. So that's not until January, but like, and the Kings are also in there too. So
Either way, I still think it's gonna be a more fun month than November was.
yeah, I think so too.
Yeah,
More wins, right?
yeah.
More wins, or at least more exciting wins.
More potential for wins.
I like that. That's the safest way to describe December for the Arizona Coyotes.
This is true. You're not gonna get me for jinxing this team.
Uh, yeah. I thought you weren't superstitious.
Oh, I'm not. I just don't want to be blamed for other people's superstitions.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So when Rose comes knocking on your door because the Coyotes end up not winning the rest of December.
Ah, yes, I will happily take that one. Actual wood knocking on it. There we go.
There you
I've done
go.
my part.
There you go. Anyways, I think I think that's gonna do it for us on this episode. This post game live show of Locked On Coyotes. If you like what you heard, don't forget to leave a review, like, comment, and subscribe if you get to already. We're available wherever you get your podcast, including on YouTube. You know, it's amazing to those who tuned in via the YouTube live, also on Twitter as well, and on Facebook.com/LockedOn Coyotes. Don't forget to interact with us on Twitter at LO_Coyotes. I'm personally at Robyn_Leano. That's Robyn with the Y underscore LEANO. Carl Pavlock. Carl Pavlock FFH. Ask us a question you may have. We'll answer them right back or on a future episode of the Locked On Coyotes podcast. Thanks again, everyone, for listening to this episode. Hope you guys are staying safe out there. Hope you guys are staying healthy. And don't forget to howl on.